All right, today we're talking about something called the invisible script and how your city's design might actually be controlling your mood. It sounds a little sci-fi, I know, but stick with me on this.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever been walking down a city street and just felt this sudden kind of unexplained wave of anxiety? You know, that little hum of tension in the background, but you can't quite put your finger on why it's there? It's super easy to just write it off, right? Like, oh, I'm just in a bad mood today.
Well, it turns out it isn't just your imagination. Not at all. That feeling is actually very real. It's not just in your head. It's a direct response your body's having to the concrete, the glass, and the steel all around you. Okay, so this brings us to the main idea for today, the invisible script. We're going to uncover this hidden language of urban design. Think of it like a hidden set of instructions that's literally embedded into the design of our cities, whispering to us how to act and even how to feel.
So, what exactly is this invisible script? Well, it's all the unspoken rules and prompts that are baked into the architecture and layout of a city. For instance, think about the width of a sidewalk. A wide one invites you to stroll and linger, right? A narrow one practically screams, "Hurry up!" Or what about a lack of public benches? The unspoken message there is pretty clear. Don't get comfortable, keep moving. These little design choices are guiding us all the time, mostly without us even noticing.
And this is where it gets really serious. Check out this quote. City layouts aren't just aesthetic choices. They are invisible scripts dictating social isolation, stress levels, and the very way brains process space. I mean, wow. We're not just talking about making a city look pretty or helping traffic flow better. We're talking about things that can genuinely lead to social isolation and crank up our stress levels.
But okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. How can a building, a chunk of concrete, actually cause anxiety? To get that, we need to look at what's happening inside our brains. Think of it as your brain on concrete, the neurological friction of our modern cities.
Okay, so look at this contrast. On one side, you've got natural forms, organic curves, gentle lines. That's what our brains evolved to process over millions of years. And on the other side, urban environments. We're talking sharp 90-degree intersections, windowless facades, repetitive angles. It's a total mismatch. Our brains are like this ancient, finely tuned hardware designed for the savannah, and we've dropped it into this world of hard, artificial geometry. This creates what scientists call neurological friction. Our brains literally have to work harder, to struggle a bit to make sense of these unnatural spaces.
And here is the really crucial part. Deep down, on a subconscious level, our brains perceive all that sharp artificial geometry as a potential threat. It's like our primitive warning system, the one that's supposed to be scanning for, a tiger in the grass, is getting set off by a skyscraper or a sharp corner on a building. It just reads, danger.
So this neurological friction isn't just some vague, fuzzy feeling. No, it triggers a very real, very measurable chemical response inside your body. Let's call this section the geometry of emotion, because that's really what it is, how shapes literally trigger a chemical change in you.
The term some researchers use is hostile concrete, which, yeah, that sounds about right. All those sharp angles and imposing windowless walls can actually trigger a spike in a very specific chemical in your brain.
And that chemical is cortisol. You've probably heard of it, right? It's famously known as the stress hormone. It's what gets released when your brain perceives a threat, and it's absolutely essential to our whole fight or flight response. And look, that's a fantastic system to have when you're facing a real danger. The problem is, it's not so great when that alarm system is being constantly, quietly triggered by something as ordinary as the building you walk past every day. So you might be thinking, what's the big deal? A little extra stress hormone, who cares? Well, when that invisible script is putting your body on this low-grade, high alert day in and day out, the impact starts to add up. It goes way beyond just being in a bad mood. Because that invisible script does more than just tweak your mood. It can dictate social isolation, especially when public spaces aren't designed for people to actually gather. It elevates chronic stress levels from all those little cortisol hits. And get this, it can fundamentally change how our brains even process the space around us. We're talking about long-term, deep-seated effects here.
Now, to be super clear, this isn't about saying all modern architecture is bad and all natural stuff is good. That's not the point. The real takeaway here is about awareness. It's about understanding that your environment has this hidden influence on you. Once you get that, you gain this incredible new power. You can start to interpret your own feelings differently. Maybe that little bit of anxiety you're feeling isn't coming from you, maybe it's coming from the street you're standing on.
So, I want to leave you with this question. Now that you can see the script, what does your city's architecture tell you to do? The next time you walk outside, really look around. Look at the sharp lines, the empty plazas, the cozy corners. Descript is playing out all around you. What message is it